Hello, everyone. My guest today is Markus Linder. He's the Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of SmartAssistant, the leading global technology provider for digital advice and guided selling technologies for online retailers, manufacturers, and service providers. Over the last 11 years, under Markus's guidance, the company has grown internationally with offices at several locations in 3 continents. Markus, are you ready to take us to the top?
Very excited. Looking
Okay,
forward.
good. You have a new title. Tell us about the new title and what prompted the change.
Yeah, I'm now president and CMO of the company. So we decided to bring a new CEO on board, like an external, very experienced CEO, because we see a huge opportunity and we're growing like crazy. And at the same time, none of us, to be honest, had a proper job before founding Smart Assistant. And now was really the right time to bring some professional management into the company. And that's why I'm from now on serving as president and CMO.
I want to talk more about how you kind of made that transition a smooth one a little later in the interview. But first, take us to the top, right? Smart Assistant. What do you guys do and how do you make money?
So Smart Assistant is a software as a service solution that allows brands and retailers to build and optimize intelligent sales assistants. So our software would do the job that millions of great salespeople do out there every day, figuring out what your needs are, what your requirements are, then recommend the right product, explain why there's a great fit, and allow you to take choices. So just to give an example, if you today want to buy a new mattress and you're not an expert in mattresses, you would really struggle online to figure out, hey, do I need a foam mattress, latex mattress? But what Smart Assistant does, it engages with you, would ask you questions like, do you sleep on the back, on the side, on the front? What's your weight? Do you suffer from allergies? And then map those needs onto the right product features and recommend the right products to you. And we do that not only on websites, but also through chatbot, on Facebook Messenger, or even through voice on virtual assistants like Alexa or Google Home.
So it's almost question-based selling, especially for e-commerce products.
Yeah, I would say need-based selling, but it's not only for e-commerce products. So our customers are banks, our customers are telcos, our customers are retailers, brands. So it's a very broad set because if you think about it, we as consumers, every day we take choices in so many domains and we are confronted with huge amount of choices. And at the same time, we are expected to almost become an expert within each and every of those domains before we can choose. And that's obviously leads to a lot of abandonment. People don't buy stuff at all. They go.
So Markus, just to be clear though, all your kind of questions you're asking or your needs you're identifying, the goal is to drive to a sale. In other words, you're not doing like customer support for a bank with automated chatbots.
Yes, we do that as well. So we have a marketing product, we have a commerce and sales product, and you can use Smart Assistant for customer service as well, for guided troubleshooting, like, hey, I have a problem with my card. What's the problem? Lost, stolen, rejected. Which country are you in? Then it guides you to a solution. So it's digital advice.
Okay, got it. And walk me through, give me a sense of kind of what the average customer is paying you for this product per month.
That's a difficult to answer question because you can start with Smart Assistant free of charge. So we have a freemium product that allows small brands, retailers to start completely free of charge. And our large customers, it goes up into the millions. So it's difficult.
Yeah, I understand the nuance, but we're short on time, and I don't want to go down every customer cohort. Just give me a general average. Are we talking $100 a month, $10,000 a month? Generally, what are folks paying per month?
No, it's rather north of that. So multiple 10 to 100,000 and more per month.
Okay, 10 to 100,000 per month. So very much in the enterprise space.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And then walk me through some of the backstory here. What year did you launch the company in?
Sorry, say it again.
What year did you launch the company in?
When we launched the company?
Correct.
Yeah, we launched the company back in 2006 as an agency, building and optimizing guided selling solutions for our customers. So we really hard-coded those solutions. And about 4 years ago, we decided, when we got the first investors in, we decided to really make a software as a service platform out of it, allow our customers to build and optimize those advisors instead of always us being the ones who have to build and optimize those advisors. And since then, things move into the very right direction.
So you raised 4 years ago. That would have been in 2014. How much did you raise?
So we raised about $3 million from angel investors, the original founders of SAP Hybris. So Hybris is an e-commerce platform that got sold to SAP for $1.5 billion. And their former CEO and a couple of folks around him invested into us.
And Markus, was that a convertible note or was it actual equity?
That was equity, and that was over multiple seed rounds. And so 16, 17, we got a VC on board, UK, US based VC. We did a $6 million round.
So to date, you raised 9 million total?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And then give me a sense of kind of what you've scaled to in terms of customers. How many customers are using you now?
Yeah, we have with more than 100 customers. We have, in terms of the teams, we are more than 100 team members across US, Europe, and growing at triple digit % year over year.
So what was the growth last year? Are we talking like 100% or 400%?
Lower end, but
okay. Can we put a weekend? Is it fair to say you're growing somewhere between 100% and 200% year over year? Is that fair?
That's fair, yeah.
Okay, very good. And so walk me through the transition. Why bring in a new CEO?
Yeah, as mentioned earlier, I mean, none of us really had experience in a company before starting SmartAssistant. We started SmartAssistant as students, and we had to learn everything by heart. And we figured out that it takes a lot of energy, a lot of pain, if you really need to learn everything by yourselves. And we figured out that there are people out there that have built already multiple companies that have already lots of experience in scaling a sales team. And with this huge amount of growth, obviously that also brings, that's super exciting, but also showed us that it was the right time to make that transition. And yeah, we're very happy about.
Was it part of a round? Was it part of the 6 million round?
No. That was after the round. We went to our board and said, hey guys, we had to convince them actually and say, hey, we really think we have one thing that I learned as an entrepreneur is that you need to focus on your strengths. And I have a lot of strengths in going out there, evangelizing the world, and exciting people, in building and maintaining a very strong vision. But I'm not necessarily the best manager out there. I'm not the best, scaling person out there. And I'm too excited about our vision and working too hard to make that happen that I, just because of ego reasons would say, hey, I need to remain CEO of this company forever.
What's the team size today?
So we are more than 100 people.
Okay, and where's everybody based?
New York City, London, Vienna, Austria, and Wrocław, Poland from west to east.
Got it. Okay, good. So, kind of distributed team then.
Yeah, pretty distributed. Yeah.
And you mentioned you did some expansion to Austin, Texas. What was in Austin that you liked?
So initially, actually, sales we started in New York right away. I wanted to send my first sales director to Chicago, but she said it's way too cold there. If you want to go, I'll go to New York, or else I won't go. So I had not a chance to say okay. And in Austin, that was also like a fun situation because we hired a girl in Vienna as our first professional services team member for the US market. And she wanted to go back to Austin. And so that was the obvious choice for us to start our professional services team in Austin. And later we figured out that we need to bring the team together and really focused on New York City. We also have Sunnyvale, but the core team is New York.
Tell me about churn.
Churn, we have a single-figure churn rate in terms of annual churn. Primarily,
and that's logo or revenue?
Both. So in both areas, it's a one figure percentage number year over year. Customers, we see churn primarily.
And sorry, Mark, is that gross or net?
That's our growth trend. So we have a positive net retention rate. So our customer base is growing quite nicely, despite the fact that we churn customers. And churn really clearly comes just from one segment, which is retail.
Yep.
So our early retail customers are in serious troubles at the moment, and just simply can't pull that strategy off anymore to become their customers' trusted advisor, and don't have the manpower and the resources to pull that off. And unfortunately, some of them are also going out of business. And this is where we see the churn rate coming from.
When you look at net revenue retention annually, I mean, how far above 100 are you? Are we talking 105, 110, 130?
Yeah, in the range 110 plus.
Yeah. 110 plus. Okay, that's great. And most of the expansion revenue, where is that coming from? Is it upselling additional seats or upselling additional products or something else?
We have multiple drivers. So we have the advisor starts, so how many people actually engage with Smart Assistant, the amount of countries, the amount of brands. So some of our brand customers like Microsoft, like Canon, like Whirlpool, they all typically start small. For example, in one country and in a couple of domains, and then they expand into multiple countries, get more and more users into the advisors, get into more categories. This is how they move on into higher, license buckets.
Mm-hmm. And what do you as you focus on kind of not only driving expansion revenue but also adding additional customers? What are you currently spending to acquire new customers?
In the past, we really had to go out and we had to evangelize. So we went to events and we told people, hey, you can't compete on price, on product, on location anymore. You need to provide your customers real convenience and an easy way to choose the right product. And we had to really evangelize actively. And we spent a lot of time and energy on events, on outbound sales, and that brought us quite good growth. But now we are really seeing inbound taking off because more and more organizations realize that this is the only way for them to survive and to have a key advantage and benefit in the market today.
Yeah, so Markus, when you look at your fully weighted CAC, what is it, including your internal sales team, any paid expenses, any conference expenses, things like that? I mean, generally speaking, what's your CAC?
So what I can share with you is that it's the payback time is at around 1 year at the moment.
Got it. And you said your first year ACV is somewhere around 10 grand per month, so about 110 grand typically, 112 grand. Oh, sorry, 120 grand.
So we don't share our ACV, but it's definitely in that kind of range.
Okay. Well, just to be clear, I'm repeating numbers you just said earlier. You said earlier that monthly it goes between 10 grand per month up to 100 grand per month. So minimum first year ACV would be 10 grand times 12 months, right?
The minimum is really zero because we have a freemium product, and it starts. You can use our freemium product for free or for a couple of hundred.
But sorry, I'm not talking about free accounts. I'm just talking about your paid customer accounts, customers.
When we look at the paying customers annually, it's like 5 figures ACV.
Okay.
On it.
So 10 grand per month, what you're saying, 10 grand per month might be a tad high, but what you're saying is you do have an enterprise cohort where some of them are paying you way north of 5 figures per month. But generally speaking, new customers are paying between, call it 50 and 100 grand in first year ACV.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What'd you say?
Yeah, and more. Yeah.
Got it. I mean, but sorry, Markus, an average is only one number, right? So again, average can't be like this plus this plus a different one.
We simply don't share that number, but just like I can just tell you the range that our customers, you can start free and it goes up to 7 figures annually.
Okay, fair enough. So payback period sounds like it's pretty healthy at about a year. That's obviously good. Lifetime value. What do you assume lifetime value is on these guys, and how effective is the lifetime value metric for you in terms of actually guiding the business and marketing?
So we see that the ratio between customer acquisition cost, lifetime value is at about 8-9. So once we have won a customer, they are very loyal and they really grow and expand and grow into bigger buckets, which is very healthy. And they do that because they really see that it works. They see great KPIs. They see that customers have a higher conversion rate, have a higher average order value, and that they really become more loyal, come back to them again and again.
Yep. Last question here before we move to much easier questions, the famous five, and wrap up. Goals for this year. You have a new CEO coming in. Fast forward to December of this year. What AR goal, if you hit it, everyone's going to be popping champagne. It's a stretch goal, but it would be a big miracle.
You are trying so many ways to get to numbers. That's amazing. That's what you're famous for, right?
Well, I mean, look, I think numbers are important. There's a lot of people that are just, honestly, Markus, full of shit. Right? They just are. I mean, I've read articles before on TechCrunch, we're doing 100 million in revenue, but then I know the CEO and he or she has told me they're not doing anywhere near that. Right. So I like to just cut through it. That's all I'm trying to do. So share what you can.
So we will, again, we will be triple digit growth. We are still significantly below the 100 million, unfortunately.
Are you north of 50? Are you between 50 and 100? Do you think you'll break 50 this year? Is it a stretch? Is that a fair stretch goal?
No, that's
2020.
No more comment on that. Sorry.
Well, how many years do you think it will take you to get past the 50 million mark? That's what I'm curious about.
That's definitely a goal that we have set ourselves for the next couple of quarters, but which is not realistic for the next year.
Okay, got it. So sometime over the next couple of quarters. Well, that's healthy. I mean, that's great growth. And look, thank you for being transparent on that. That helps people go back and they'll go, wow, this guy knows what he's doing. I'm going to listen to more of this episode. I'm actually going to, care more about what he's saying. So I appreciate that. And we could kind of back into that, right? With 100 customers, right? And you give us an ARPU of, call it minimum 10 grand per month. You can multiply there, and that's $1 million a month right there. But obviously you're north of that at this point. So healthy growth, healthy economics. Let's wrap up here with the famous five. Number one, what's your favorite business book?
Good question. I'm growing. I should have looked at that.
If you don't have one, don't make one up. Just say none.
I forgot the title. There is like a great book on how to create categories, how to really build out new categories, growing bigger, I believe. And that's really has been a book that has been very helpful. Yeah.
Right. Number two, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
Not really, to be honest. I'm more the type of guy who is, doing his own thing. And I meet great people and love to exchange with them. But I don't have a role model that I admire and that I'm really following on a daily basis.
Number three, what's your favorite online tool for building a business?
At the moment, it's something super simple. It's Trello, which I just use to really quickly take notes, assign them to the team, and yeah.
Markus, number four, how many hours of sleep are you getting every night?
Ideally, I get 7.5 hours of sleep.
What do you get?
Tonight, I had maybe 6.
Okay, good. And what's your situation? Married, single, you have kiddos?
I'm engaged.
Oh, good. So good, but no kids yet.
Yeah, I have a kid.
How many?
1.
Just 1. Okay, good. So engaged, 1 kiddo, and how old are you?
I'm 36, I believe.
36. Okay, last question. See, if I can't even get your age out of you, which is like an easy number, this is why it's been difficult to get any other numbers out of you, right? All right, last question here. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
To be honest, I'm really stubborn, so I'm sure at the age of 20, I wouldn't.
You're really stubborn. I would never guess.
I probably wouldn't have listened to myself being older, but just what I learned, you need to be super persistent. You need to follow your dream. You need to not give up lightly. There were so many people who told me, "Hey, get yourself a proper job, do something real that will never work." And that's the positive side of the stubbornness that we just, went through this, and I and my partners got us through those 10 years of darkness to a point where we now have a really quickly growing, very healthy and very promising business. And that's just what I would have also, what I would tell myself again and again, but that's anyway in me. So
good. There you guys have it. Markus launched the company in 2006 as an agency. He says would his told his 20-year-old self be more persistent, and he was. This agency was growing. Then in 2014, they turned on a SaaS product, did a small venture round for about $3 million, raised additional $6 million recently, so $9 million total raised. SmartAssistant is basically helping folks, whether it's online or banks, etc., have conversations and do kind of need-based or questions-based selling and support with folks, scaling and making teams significantly more efficient. They've got a team of 100 people based between New York City, London, Poland, Austria, and other remote locations. Over 100 customers paying north of 10 grand per month, so well north of 12 million bucks in AR, but south of 50. They hope to cross that maybe in the next couple of quarters, growing 100 to 200% year over year. So healthy growth. Markus, thank you for taking us to the top.
Thank you very much. Great talking to you.